Have you ever tried so hard to keep someone in your life that you forgot your own worth? Maybe it was a friend who stopped caring. Maybe it was a family member who only remembered you when they needed something. Maybe it was someone you loved deeply, but no matter how much effort you gave, they slowly walked away. Most people spend their lives chasing people who are already leaving. They explain themselves again and again. They beg for attention. They try to prove their value. They change who they are just to be accepted. But life teaches a different lesson. Sometimes the more you chase people, the more you lose yourself. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply let people lose you. My name is Wally, and today I want to share a powerful story about self-respect, value, and the mistake many people make when they try too hard to keep everyone in their lives. In a small town, there lived a young man named Thomas. Thomas was known as one of the kindest people in town. He was always ready to help others. If someone needed advice, Thomas listened. If someone had a problem, Thomas tried to solve it. If someone was struggling, Thomas offered support. People often thanked him and praised him. Because of this, Thomas believed he had many good friends. But as the years passed, he began noticing something strange. Whenever people needed help, they called him. Whenever they had problems, they visited him. Whenever they wanted support, they looked for him. But when they were happy, successful, or celebrating something important, they rarely remembered him. When Thomas needed help, excuses suddenly appeared. "I'm busy. Maybe another day. Sorry, I can't." At first, Thomas ignored it. He thought maybe people were just busy. Then he thought maybe he needed to be even more helpful. So he gave more time, more energy, more effort. But the harder he tried, the less appreciated he felt. One afternoon, while walking through a park, Thomas noticed an old gardener taking care of flowers. The old man seemed calm and peaceful. Thomas sat beside him and shared everything. "I help everyone," Thomas said. "I always try to be there for people. But it feels like nobody is there for me." The gardener listened carefully. Then he pointed toward a beautiful tree nearby. "What do you see?" he asked. "A tree," Thomas replied. The gardener smiled. "This tree gives shade to people every day. Travelers rest under it. Birds build nests in it. Children play around it." Thomas nodded. Then the gardener asked, "If someone walks away from this tree, who loses something?" "The tree loses a person," Thomas answered. The gardener shook his head. "No, the person loses the shade." Thomas became quiet. The old man continued, "You think people are doing you a favor by staying in your life. But many times, they are receiving your kindness, your loyalty, your support, and your care." Then he said something Thomas would never forget. "When people cannot see your value, stop trying to convince them. Let them lose you." Those words stayed in Thomas's mind. For days he thought about them. Eventually he decided to change. He stopped chasing people. He stopped sending message after message when nobody replied. He stopped forcing conversations. He stopped running after people who showed no effort. Instead, he started focusing on himself. He read books. He learned new skills. He exercised regularly. He worked on his goals. He spent more time with people who genuinely respected him. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Some people disappeared. Some stopped calling. Some complained that Thomas had changed. But Thomas realized something important. The people leaving his life were often the same people who only appeared when they needed something. Months passed. Slowly, life became different. Thomas felt lighter, happier, more peaceful. The few people who truly cared about him remained. Those friendships became stronger. Those relationships became healthier. For the first time in years, Thomas no longer felt exhausted, trying to earn people's attention. One day he met the gardener again. "I finally understand," Thomas said. The old man smiled. "What did you learn?" Thomas replied, "I cannot force people to value me. I cannot force people to stay. And I do not need to chase people who are already walking away." The gardener nodded. "Exactly. Your value does not depend on who stays and who leaves." Years later, Thomas became known not only for his kindness, but also for his wisdom. He still helped people. He still cared about others. But he no longer begged for attention, approval, or acceptance. He understood something most people learn too late. Self-respect is more important than chasing people. The lesson of this history is simple. Do not waste your life running after people who do not appreciate you. Do not beg people to stay in your life. Do not keep proving your worth to people who refuse to see it. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to keep others happy that we forget our own happiness. We give our time, our energy, or our love to people who never give the same effort back. But remember, your value does not become smaller just because someone fails to recognize it. You cannot force someone to care. You cannot force someone to choose you. And you cannot build a peaceful life while constantly chasing people who are walking away. Sometimes people leave not because you are not enough, but because they were never meant to walk the same path with you. Let them go. Do not carry the pain of people who do not want to stay. Focus on becoming better. Focus on your dreams. Focus on your growth. Focus on the people who respect your presence and appreciate your efforts. Because the right people will not make you feel like you have to fight for a place in their lives. They will stay because they truly value you. And sometimes losing certain people is not a loss. Sometimes it is the moment you finally find your own peace and discover your own strength. So stop chasing, stop begging, start respecting yourself. Build a life where your happiness does not depend on who stays or who leaves. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs this message today. Maybe a friend, a family member, or someone who is trying too hard to keep people who no longer care. And if you want to learn English while discovering powerful life lessons through meaningful stories, make sure to subscribe to Well-It-Ends. Also, watch my previous story, Don't Carry All Victories. It will remind you that yesterday's success should never stop you from creating a better tomorrow. Thank you for watching. We will meet again in a new beautiful story.